Every December, while children sleep believing St. Nicholas is coming with gifts, some villages in the Alps lock their doors, dim their lights, and pray the night passes quickly. Because long before Christmas bells ring, something else is said to walk the mountain roads. Something with horns, chains, and a hunger for punishment. This is not a legend meant to entertain. This is the night locals still fear. This is Krampusnacht. Krampusnacht originates in Austria, southern Germany, and parts of Switzerland, dating back more than 1,000 years. The word Krampus comes from the Old High German Krampen, meaning claw. Long before Christianity spread through the region, Alpine pagan tribes believed winter was ruled by dark spirits, beings that tested humanity through cold, fear, and scarcity. When Christianity arrived, it did not erase these beliefs. Instead, it absorbed them. St. Nicholas became the symbol of reward. Krampus became the shadow beside him, the punishment. Every year on the night of December 5th, villagers believed Krampus roamed freely, hunting disobedient children, and sometimes adults who had sinned too deeply to be forgiven. The earliest records of Krampus-like figures appear in pre-Christian fertility rituals, where horned beings symbolized nature's cruelty during winter. These figures wore animal skins, carried bells, and performed violent dances meant to scare away weaker spirits. But over time, something changed. Church records from the 1600s describe villagers reporting real encounters, deep claw marks on doors, livestock found dead with broken necks, and children vanishing overnight. Krampus was no longer symbolic. In some regions, priests attempted to ban Krampusnacht entirely, calling it a gateway ritual. But the bans failed. The people refused to abandon it, because, according to local belief, ignoring Krampus was more dangerous than acknowledging him. In December 1897, the small Austrian village of Obertraun prepared for Krampusnacht as usual. Snow fell heavily that year. The roads vanished under ice. Isolation was complete. A family named the Müllers lived near the forest edge. They had one son, Johann, age 9. Johann had been restless for weeks. He spoke of dreams where bells rang outside his window. He said something stood in the trees, watching. On the night of December 5th, the village bells rang once. A warning. The Müllers barred their door, extinguished their candles, and waited in silence. Then, the chains began. Not distant, not symbolic. Right outside the house. Heavy footsteps circled the walls. Claws scraped wood. A deep breathing sound pressed against the door. Johann stood up. His mother pulled him back, but he screamed. He pointed to the window. Outside, in the falling snow, stood a figure taller than any man. Horns curved upward like a ram's. Its eyes reflected firelight that didn't exist. And around its waist hung a sack, moving. The door did not break open. It opened itself. Neighbors later claimed they heard screaming for exactly 7 minutes. Then, silence. By morning, the Müller home stood intact. No damage, no blood. Johann was gone. Footprints led from the house into the forest, then simply stopped. A local newspaper, Salzkammer Gut Wochenblatt, published a brief notice on December 8, 1897. A child disappearance occurred during the night festivities. Search parties yielded no results. The family refuses further comment. Police reports note something unusual. There were no human footprints near the door, only deep impressions shaped like hooves. The case was quietly closed. Years later, during Krampusnacht in 1911, Villagers reported hearing a child crying from the forest. Those who followed the sound saw lanterns moving between trees, then going out one by one. A man claimed he heard a voice whisper, "You were warned." That night, 3 men never returned. Krampusnacht was suspended in Obertraun for decades after, but the sightings never stopped. So the question remains, was Krampus ever meant to be a story for children? Or was it a warning passed down in disguise? And if Krampus was only a symbol, why do people still hear chains in the Alps every December? Tell me which explanation you believe, and which festival's truth should be uncovered next.